Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at my 18-game win streak with Alolan Raticate here. This Pokemon got access to the Quick Attack, of course, had already before, but Quick Attack got boosted and now generates more energy, which gonna make this Pokemon a lot more viable actually. Because now you basically generate the same energy amount as Vine Whip, you have Crunch, which is the same energy as, for example, the Frenzy Plant, if you know Venusaur's count. You now have 665 as the counts for this. Before I think you needed 7 for the first one, and it took way longer. You also have access here with my Pokemon. Here I have the Purified version, which is the best version that you can have for this Pokemon. Has access to Return. Return gonna do a lot of damage as well, and you're gonna get faster to this as well. We have a team here with the Runerigus. We have a team here also with the what's called the Nidoqueen in the back, the Shadow Nidoqueen. Runerigus is actually my favorite Pokemon from this team, I think. This thing was just so insane. You can just go for so many sand tombs. I had so much fun with this Pokemon, and you're gonna see me here can just farm down this Grand Bull now with my Nidoqueen thanks to the debuff as well. I can just go ahead and go for Poison Fangs, and with those Poison Fangs I will be able to get this thing super low and just debuff the opponent's defense, and I should be able to just Quick Attack this Pokemon down now. They can let all the moves go if they want to, I don't really care. They can go for the Earthquake, I don't really care. Now you're going to lose with 2 shields opponent, thanks for this. But yeah, you see those battles now and you think, oh okay, he's only like rank 18 or whatever now. For me it's the 6th of September right now where I played those batches as well. So like for you, when you see this, it's already a week past, and this were like against people that are really high up in the meta right now. I'm like one of the first leads. I was the first person on Twitter that I've seen that actually reached the 2nd page of the research already. Most likely everybody who listens to this has already the 2nd page of the research. So yeah, like this were like high level battles already because we were pretty high at this point, but I'm currently on vacation, so of course I have to pre-produce a little bit further, and this is why you see those battles now. We see the Azumarill going for an Hydro Pump against our Nidoqueen. That's fine for us as we can farm this Pokemon down now with our Runerigus. And we have access to the Shadow Ball, of course, which can now completely destroy this Talonflame. And the damage that we can put out with this team is insane in general. We see the Ferrothorn coming in, we're going to catch on this Pokemon. I was like, oops, I threw this game here because I kind of wanted to use my energy here. And now I caught the move and I couldn't really use it anymore. But we can still save us, go for one Sand Tomb here and still reach the Shadow Ball in time. Meaning that this one will KO thanks to the debuff before. And this was the only way of winning this game still after basically screwing it over before. I could have just went straight for the Shadow Ball and would have won as well, but this was more stylish. We see the Water Gun version of the Lantern here. Actually, my IV spreads are kinda high attack-ish, which is bad against this Pokemon in the 2-shield scenario. If they go straight Surf, which they don't do here, they would win the 2-shield scenario against me. But as they go for the Thunderbolt here, I will be able to win the 2 shields with this Pokemon. I just looked it up before. You kinda want to have a lower attack Raticate if possible. I think the best one which you can get from Purification would be a 2-14-13. So this would be most likely the best one that you can get. So you need a 0-12-11 version before. If you have this in your inventory, maybe purify it. But in general, try to purify your Raticate. Like, it's way better with Return, to be honest. You don't really want the Shadow bonus anyway. You want the bulk. This Pokemon is super bulky and now has access to a Stab Quick Attack, which makes it so much better. As we see a Tropius coming in here, we should have went into our other Pokemon, which was a Nidoqueen, but it is fine. We can shield this move up and we can farm this thing down. We have now an energy advantage and they go into their Sableye. We can go for one Earth Power here, getting this thing low. And now going into our Raticate, which will finish up this Sableye with one Crunch. We can now do still some damage against this Tropius, and we will be able as well to farm this thing down here. One Leaf Blade does not KO us from this range. And we should be pretty good here as we see that they go down. Next opponent, we're going to see here Altaria against us. How do we play this? We're going to go straight for one Crunch, and I think I'm going to swap out afterwards because those Strong Breath don't do that much damage, but I can get the debuff and also can now get my Runerigus in a position where I can bait out the Swampert. If they let this move go through, which they do, they will lose switch advantage here as I can just shield up their charge move. I will be able to generate even more energy now with my fast move Shadow Claw as they go back into their Trevenant. We can bait them because they will shield this, they know it could be a Shadow Ball, And now we're in such a good spot, as we can see here. They can go for another move here, which is fine for us. They go for the Seed Bomb, I can go into my Raticate, and it's a Trevenant meta. And against Trevenant, the Raticate will be really decent, as they go straight into their Altaria. We can go for one Poison Fang here, and this game is over already. They cannot do anything against me anymore. I can farm them down with the Raticate. And what does this Trevenant do against me? Their fast move is triple resisted. Shadow Claw does 1 damage against me, and the Seed Bomb should also not really threaten me too much, as we can go for more crunches and we can just get the first shield and now can get the KO on this Pokemon. Good game to my opponent. Very well played there, but this was too much. The Raticate is so amazing, to be honest. We see an Altaria again. We can go ahead and go straight for the Runerigus this time. I should maybe went for the next move. I'm not sure how to play this team either. Those were my first games with the team that went immediately on an 18-game win streak. So I think if I played it even more, it would be even better. But here we see a Lantern now coming in against us. We can go straight for the Sand Tomb. We just want to get the extra damage here. The difference, of course, between Sand Tomb and the Shadow Ball would be a little bit bigger, but we can just go for more Sand Tombs, get this thing lower. We see that we already put them close to the red health, and they actually throw here, which is amazing for us, as we can now go for the farm down with our Raticate. I would say I wouldn't even throw a charge move here, to be honest. Just let the move go through, and you can just go for crunches against the incoming Altaria now, and this should be pretty fine. As they go into the Altaria, the crunch come through, we're going to get no shield from the opponent, and we can farm this thing down with a Nidoqueen. And they have basically nothing now that they can do, as we see the Registeel coming in. We're going to go ahead and bait this move here with the Nidoqueen going for the Poison Fang. They're going to shield it up, which is amazing for us, as now it doesn't really matter what they do. They do go for the Zapcan, trying to debuff us. We can go for one Earth Power, and we will be able to reach the next one in time as well, which is going to be nice, as they go for another move, which we're going to shield up. And we should be good here, as we see the Zap Cannon coming in. We can go ahead, swap into our Raticate and farm this thing down. As we see the Registeel coming back in here, we can go ahead and go for one Crunch. This Crunch going to put him into a range where you can even go for another Crunch. And if one more Crunch isn't enough, let's try to go for another Crunch, because they cannot farm us down. And this is going to be a good game. This was the only play to farm us down. Like, this was not a misplay by the opponent. They found their only win con, but it wasn't a win con. Like, they still lost, so it's fine for us. As we see an Azumarill coming in, I should have swapped out way earlier. I don't know what I'm doing here, to be honest, but it's fine. We can go ahead, go for one return, try to catch the move onto the Nidoqueen, which is going to be the play rough. And this will be pretty decent for us, as we can still farm this thing down in time. We hit the return, we can realign our Pokemon, and I still kind of have to be careful with the Hypno with my Raticate, because Raticate, of course, is 4 times weak against fighting type moves, which means that I kind of have to shield this potential Focus Blast. It's a Thunder Punch, so I'm not really scared anymore. They don't gonna get to another Focus Blast anyway, as they go for another Thunder Punch and they swap out into the Umbreon. For whatever reason, I go for Crunch, which is not the right ideal move, as we get the shield, which is nice. And we go for the swap onto the last resort here. And we catch the move perfectly, which allows us now to go for some more Sand Tombs. And you see already, this was the first game I've ever played with this team, because you see I'm running Astonish still on this Pokemon. I forgot to change the move in the beginning, and I'm running Astonish Runerigus against this Umbreon here. Yeah, this is the first match that I ever played. Again, like, all my battles are randomized in this here. So, that was kind of insane. Imagine going up against an Astonish one and you're still going to lose here, as we can shield this move up. As we can see, it's going to be a last resort. We can go for our return and see how much the return going to do against this Umbreon. It's gonna put him into the red health, and we will see that they can not do anything against us here. This doesn't KO, and one more quick attack and we will be able to win this game. That good game to my opponent, as we see the next opponent having a Stunfisk in the lead here. We can go ahead and go into our Runerigus. This is basically the worst possible lead for us, as we see one of the worst possible save swaps. We see the Pelipper coming in here. We can go ahead, go for one Shadow Ball, try to get a shield advantage or switch advantage. Let's see, we can get a switch advantage with this, as they cannot even get to another move, which is nice, and they can now go into their Trevenant. We can get either a shield or KO this Pokemon as well. Let's see what's going to happen. We're gonna get the shield, and we can now go into our I think we go into our Raticate. No, we actually go into our Nidoqueen, trying to farm this Pokemon down and trying to catch the potential Shadow Ball here, which is going to be sadly only a Seed Bomb, but it's still fine. We now have our Nidoqueen loaded, we still have 2 shields left, we can go for 1 crunch here, and we will be able to get to another crunch as well, because this Earthquake will never KO us, but it's actually only a Rock Slide. Maybe an Earthquake would actually KO us, I'm not sure, we are pretty bulky though. But this is another Rock Slide, we're going to shield this move up for whatever reason. I just want to get to another charge move here, which is going to be this crunch again. Crunch coming through, getting the shield, getting the defense drop, and also we still can now go into our Nidoqueen. They go for an Earthquake. We can go for the Earth Power. I thought they would swap out, but they didn't. And we will be able to now KO this opposing Stunfisk, as we can still go for a charge move here against this Trevenant. They go for a Seed Bomb, it doesn't KO. We can go for our Poison Jab here, Poison Fang here, and the Poison Fang will KO the opponent. Good game to my opponent here, as we see the next game. As we see the next game coming up, we see the Raticate against the Araquanid. Horrible lead here. We can go into our Runerigus and we can just go ahead and go for some Shadow Balls. Here, of course, the Bubble Beam will be super effective, but their other move will be resisted, their Bug Bite. So we will be able to get to the Shadow Ball pretty quickly and do more damage than they do to us. So this is a winning matchup, definitely. They go for another Bubble Beam here, as we see the Shiftry coming in. Shiftry will resist all of our moves. I don't know why they didn't swap out earlier, to be honest. Shiftry is a hard counter to me. But like this, I will be able to just go ahead, go for another Sand Tomb, and now swap out into my Nidoqueen. As you can see here, I can shield once and I can farm this thing all the way down, which is going to be amazing. As we see now that they're going to actually get this move through here. I didn't want to shield as they go back into the Araquanid. We can go for one more Poison Fang. This will do some nice damage, but they're actually going to shield this move up and swap into their own Nidoqueen. I'm not sure why I went for the Poison Fang here, actually. I literally have no idea. Do they still have a shield left? I think they still have a shield left. Yeah, they still have a shield left, that's why. I keep my move alive here. I keep my Poison Fang still alive on my Nidoqueen for the later on for the Araquanid matchup, and I go for a straight return against this Nidoqueen. I will be able to survive this Poison Fang, and I will be able to go for this return, which will do enough damage to KO the Nidoqueen pretty easily. As we see the Araquanid coming back in, we can go back into our Nidoqueen, go for one Poison Jab and Poison Fang. I mean, I always feel like Poison Jab, Poison Fang, and will KO this Araquanid. Good game there, hard counted and still won. As we see the next opponent having the Azumarill in the lead. Horrible for us again, as we have only our Runerigus as our Sway Swap, which also kind of loses to this Pokemon. We can go ahead and go for the bait move here, for one Sand Tomb against the Trevenant coming in, and go for one Shadow Ball now. Do they want to go 2 shields down? They do want to go 2 shields down. Fine for me, I can let this move go through. And 2 shields, Nidoqueen going to be very good at the end game there. As we see here now, we can go ahead and go for some crunches against this Pokemon. We can let the Seed Bomb go through, it doesn't do damage. And we can go for one crunch. We will KO the opponent, and we will now align our Nidoqueen against the Azumarill. As we see a Lantern coming in. It's a Spark version, it doesn't matter. One Earth Power will not quite KO it, I think, but it does put him into range where we can just shield once, and we can farm it down, and we will easily able to win this game now. Even if they can KO us here or whatever, for whatever reason, we will still be fine, but they actually go for the Hydro Pump. Means that they most likely don't have the Ice Beam available, which also means that we're easily going to be able to win this match just with a Nidoqueen alone. We don't even have to really swap out here, but we can just farm it down with our Rat as well. And we will be able to win this game there, as we see the next opponent having a Trevenant in the lead. Trevenant going to be pretty decent for us, as we can now swap into our Runerigus against this Stunfisk. I'm going to shield up the first move here while they bait me, which is kind of crazy, to be honest. Like, the bait is really risky here. I didn't have to shield, I would survive on Earthquake. But it is fine, we can go for one Shadow Ball now. We either get the shield back or switch advantage. We get switch advantage, which is all that I really want anyway. We see the Trevenant coming in. They cannot really farm us down before we can get to another move, but yeah, they're going to throw the Shadow Ball here. They needed only the Seed Bomb, so I don't know why they did this. It's going to be a little bit tricky. I tried to catch the move here, which didn't work out. They go for one crunch, and now I kinda am in a bad position. I'm going to shield this move up here. And I'm going to try to win this with fast move damage alone. We can go ahead, go for one Poison Jab here, Poison Fang again. I always say Poison Jab today. Poison Fang here, and we're going to get this thing really low, which is amazing for us, because now we can farm it down with our Raticate before they can get to another move. We have 2 crunches stored, we can go for the first crunch, we're going to get the debuff here as well, as far as I know. Yep, we do. And we can go for another one here, which doesn't get the debuff as far as I know. Yep, I still remember all the games. As we can go for one more crunch and win this game here. Good game to my opponent. Raticate is just such a good hardware for Trevenant, it's insane. As we see another Trevenant lead here, it's just to comment right now the Trevenant lead. As we see a Registeel coming in, we can go for one Santum immediately. The Santum will allow us to put him into a range where the next Shadow Ball will do enough to KO them, even if they go for one Zapkin here and debuff us. Let's see if they debuff us. They don't debuff us. So we can go one Shadow Ball here, and this should do enough damage so we can farm down afterwards. And actually they can still get to another move. It doesn't matter, all of them are double resisted from them, so like it doesn't matter whatsoever. And we can just take this move, and we should be able to still get to another move with our Runerigus against this Trevenant. Do they want to shield this move up or not? Let's see. They do. Clever shield. As we can go into our Raticate and we see an Azumarill against our Nidoqueen. You know already, this is basically the perfect hard counter for the opponent's team, which is kind of interesting. As we can just go ahead and go for more Poison Fangs. Should do enough against this Azumarill. They actually shield up for whatever reason, like this one should do enough to KO you, I think. Let's see. It does, and now we have a shield advantage. We have our Raticate still alive. I don't know why my opponent is still playing, but this crunch will basically get him away from playing anymore, because this will easily KO the opponent, and we go into the next match as we see the next opponent having the Sableye in the lead. Sableye in the lead is of course a very good matchup for us. We're going to be able to do some nice damage with the crunch. Their move is double resisted, our move is double resisted. But our charge move is not not resisted. But of course they can also go for the return, which would do a lot of damage. So I'm going to shield their first move up. I can go for my crunch, and if we get the debuff here, we will be able to farm it down before they can go for one more return. So this is going to be a winning matchup for us. Of course we lost one shield, but it is fine. I wanted to swap out earlier, but it didn't work, and they go into the Marowak. We can go for one Santum here, going to hit this thing very low, and we don't shield here at all. We can just farm it down with our Raticate afterwards, but they're actually going for the Bone Club, so we can go for one more Santum. The Santum will get a shield from the opponent, and they have to go for another bigger move, but they go for another Bone Club, and I can just farm them down. So thanks for this. I'm going to go for the Santum and swap out now into my Raticate, trying to go for one return here real fast, and I will be able to hit the return before they can get to a one play rough. Return does enough damage to put them into range where I can just poison jab them down, and this will be an easy game. I would have even able to just shield and I think quick attack them down, but this makes it easier. Next opponent, we see a Lantern in the lead again. It's going to be Water Gun again, so we're going to go ahead, go for one more Crunch. Crunch will do some nice damage. Again, my IV spread isn't ideal against the Lantern. You lose the 2 shield with this IV spread. But we can go ahead and shield the Thunderbolt, which is good for us as we see a Jumpluff coming in. This can be a little bit tricky because this Pokemon gets now to the charge moves way faster. So Nidoqueen has to be a little bit scared by the potential acrobatics. They go for the Energy Ball, which does a little bit less damage, as we can shield this next move up. We are 2 shields down now, but we have a lot of energy here, and they only have 1 shield as well. And we see them going into a Frostless. This is kind of horrible for my team, especially for my Runerigus. It doesn't want to face this Pokemon. I go straight into my Raticate. I can go straight for one, one Crunch here. Will be able to get the shield. I still will be able to survive one Avalanche here. I'm Bulky Boy, and they go into their Lantern. Very good swap there. I can only go for my Crunch. My Crunch doesn't do enough. They can farm me down here. And this is a tough one, to be honest. Like, I don't know how we are supposed to win this. We go into the Runerigus. We have to take the Surf here. Surf will be super effective, but doesn't KO us yet. We can farm this thing down. We don't have a move yet stored, but we can still get to the Shadow Ball in time, winning us this game against this Frostless as well. Good game there. And we see the next opponent now coming up again, as we see the Raticate against Azumarill. Horrible lead again. We can swap out into our Runerigus. Runerigus will be able to deal with this Sableye as well. We can go straight for the Shadow Ball. You can also decide to bait here, depends on what you want to do. And this time, not baiting was the right decision, because now we can align our Pokemon perfectly. We can now get rid of this Sableye, we can now go for one Shadow Ball against this Azumarill. They still have to throw against us, because we otherwise would get to another charge move, I think. If they actually want to throw against us though, because we can get to another one. Do they want to shield this? Do they just want to farm me down? They don't want to shield this, they just farm me down. We go into our Nidoqueen, we have to shield this move up. Let's see what it's going to be. It's going to be the Hydro Pump, which is nice for us, as we see the Drapion coming in again. We do exactly what we did before as well in one game. We go for a Poison Fangs here, and we're going to be able to get the debuff while we catch perfectly here the crunch on our Pokemon, on our Raticate. I'm going to go still for some crunches, hoping for the 30% debuff chance here. Is it necessary? Not really. Is it risky? Yes, but let's see if we are lucky. We are not lucky, so it was basically a wasted turn of damage, but it's fine as they can go for another Sludge Bomb. One more crunch will not KO me here. I can farm them down. They don't even get to another move, and we will get the win here. Next opponent, we're going to see a Ninetales in the lead. Horrible lead again. We can swap out into our Runerigus, and we see a Medicham coming in. This is very nice for us, as they go now for an Ice Punch, but this is of course a winning matchup for us. We can just go ahead, go straight for the Shadow Ball, and the Shadow Ball will KO the opponent if they don't want to shield this. But they want to shield this, because they're also now getting close to another move here, which is going to be the Ice Punch. But he's already in a range where I can just go for one Sand Tomb if I don't get to the next move in time. And yeah, like I will not be able to farm down, but I can go for a Sand Tomb. I will be able to win back Switch Advantage. I will be able to align my Nidoqueen against the Ninetales here, and I will be able to align my what's called Raticate against whatever they have in the back. I'm going to shield this move up. If it's a counter user, I'm screwed. It is a Bastiodon. I'm going to go straight for the Earth Power here, because I just need to go for 2 Earth Powers and I win. And yeah, even though they had a shield left, I still have my Raticate left. I can still go for a crunch, do the last bit of damage. We see a horrible lead here in the Boswell and a horrible save swap in the Drapion. But what I only realized with this matchup against Drapion is you actually would be able to win this in the 2-shit scenario, I'm pretty sure. You will be able to survive one crunch here, so both hit the same times. You get to the moves at the same time as well, but you got like some advantage because you swapped in. And they shield up the next move. If I shield this one up, I can go for another one and I can get another shield. And if I would shield the last one up as well, I would be able to realign, which would be amazing, of course, as they have a Boswell in the back. But I opt to not do this. I opt to go into my little Raticate here and try to completely destroy this Pokemon with some quick attacks. Main reason for this is I try to get some extra energy against the Boswell, and now I hope that they have nothing bad against my Nidoqueen in the back. You see me here going straight for the Poison Fang. I'm 100% sure that one Earth Power wouldn't have KO'd there, so getting the debuff first will now allow me to go for an Earth Power and KO the opponent. No matter if they bait or not, I will get there first, and I will be able to destroy this Stunfisk here thanks to the debuff. All moves are resisted by this Pokemon. As long as we can hit this Poison Fang, we will be able to win this game, as we can then go into our Raticate. This will get the debuff, this will get this Pokemon low. Raticate is coming in, one crunch is coming in, one debuffed crunch is enough to KO this Boswell, and the Raticate will sweep endgame again. Second to last game, this should be the 18th game where we won, as we see the Venusaur coming in as well. We can go for one crunch here. Crunch will do some nice damage, of course, as this is a kind of tricky matchup, to be honest. I'm going to swap out now into my Runerigus. I know their fast move is like strong against us, and I know that this is a Sableye coming in, which is going to be a little bit tough, but we can go for one Shadow Ball, get the shield from the opponent this time around. Maybe I should have baited this time. I'm going to bait actually, because I thought they would throw their charge move first, but we're going to get another shield, so we are 2 shields up now. They just farm us all the way down, and I'm just going to go ahead and let this Raticate go down. So, we have now this scenario where we have a Nidoqueen with 2 shields against an entire team. Let's see what we can do here. We can go ahead, shield this move up. We see a Bastiodon coming in. We go for one Poison Jab, Poison Fang here. I'm pretty sure that we will be able to now one-shot it with a 1 Earth Power. But let's see for ourselves. Can we one-shot this Pokemon here on the final move? No. They go for one move now. They can go for the charge move. The Flamethrower comes through. We are pretty low, and this is going to be a good game here. Or is it? We can see that they go back into their Venusaur. The Venusaur is way lower than I thought. We can go for a charge move, and we can just barely farm down the opponent here. And now we go into the match that I lost. This is the match that lost me the win streak. We see the opponent here having a Dragonite in the lead. We go straight into our Runerigus because I didn't really want to face the first matchup there. Maybe I could have stayed in for a little bit actually. I think this was already a mistake by me, but I thought I can bait them here. I should be fine. I might be able to do more damage with my fast move than they do with theirs, but I was kind of wrong. They did more damage with theirs than I did with mine. I now have to go into my Raticate again, I guess. I could have went into my Nidoqueen as well. I should have went into my Nidoqueen as well, I'm pretty sure. As we get hardwalled here by the very interesting team of Morwile with it here. We can go ahead. We have to catch the move basically. We have to catch the next play rough. We can go for another crunch in time, but we have to catch the next play rough in order to get anything out of this matchup. Let's see. We will be able to catch the next play rough, which is amazing for us, but it's still, of course, kind of tough as we are getting low. They get to another move. Yeah, and this is only a power punch, so I was like kind of hopeful. We see a G-Fist now coming in after this one. I was like, if I hit this Earth Power, I win, and I over-tapped by 1 as well because I thought they might want to catch. And they catched exactly this. If I went straight, I would have won this game. Like this, I will lose this game. And that's going to be it for this video. Very long video, of course, because it was an 18-game win streak and I kind of wanted to showcase all the battles. And that's going to be it for this video as well. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.